Hi there, my name's Azure Thatcher, and if you're a landlord that's looking to not just survive what's going on right now, but actually go on to thrive, then this video is for you. I have literally just finished the Property Investors Virtual Summit, day number 3. We had some amazing speakers, and it's just unbelievable what they covered today. If you want to go and check it out for free, you can do so for a limited time by going to propertygedi.com. I just want to kind of summarize what's said at the moment. So, by the way, that Property Investors Summit was a 3-day event with 12 speakers that came on live, and we grilled them and just got extracted their innermost closely guarded secrets and got them to share them with the people that have actually registered for that event. So make sure you go down to propertygedi.com to go and check out what was said. But to kind of give you an overview, just if you're wondering, is it going to be worth your time checking it out? I just want to let you know. So the first speaker that we had this morning was a guy called Maz Berry, who's specifically talking about mental toughness. And I can't go through all the stuff he said, but basically some of the highlight points is it was, how do you deal? He's an ex-commando, and it's like, how do you manage to deal? What are the coping strategies that you have? What do you use to actually get through tough times when when chips are down, when everything's going wrong, when you feel like just crying, curling up into a ball and just crying, like happens to a lot of people sometimes? What do you do in those kind of situations? He's got a coping mechanism. He calls it the 4 C's. So there's four things that he actually goes through of what he does, strategies of what he does to actually help him through challenging times. He also covered like mastering your mindset, being able to actually make yourself put yourself in the right space. And he also dealt with negative thoughts. Now, how do you deal with these thoughts that creep into your head, that little voice that tells you can't, or you're not good enough, or that imposter syndrome that sometimes you get, maybe especially when you're first starting out in property and your loved ones are telling you shouldn't be doing that, or watch out for this or watch out for that, and you're wondering, how to kind of be successful anyway. He kind of helps you deal with those negative thoughts, and he kind of covered that in good detail. Then the next person that we had on was the Queen of Compliance, and her name is Tina Walsh, and it was specifically looking at sourcing compliance, because there's a lot of people out there that are offering all these kind of different properties, deal of a lifetime type of stuff. And there's a number of horror stories, people getting burned, people getting ripped off, and there's a lot of wailing or well-meaning, well-intentioned property sources out there that are doing things, and they don't realize they're actually doing things illegally, or the amount of the vulnerable position that they're putting themselves in when they don't do certain things or do things in a certain way. And Tina kind of went over some details of how you can not get scammed by some people that are out there trying to sell property investment property opportunities, how to actually get rid of tire kickers. If you're a property investor, if you're a sourcer and you're finding these amazing deals, you might be putting them out there on these social media platforms like Facebook or whatever, and you'll get a number of people that are just trying to extract information and just time wasters. And you go for coffees and all these meetings all over the country, all over the place, and you're constantly doing all that stuff, and it's just a complete waste of time. So how do you reduce that? How do you actually get rid of these tire kickers, these time wasters? So Tina kind of covered that, and she also gave her kind of secret sauce with regards to how to actually get to be one of the top 1% of property sources in the UK. So she kind of broke down different strategies of how you can kind of do that. And you can see all of this stuff, as I said, by going to propertygedi.com. I've got the replays up there for sort of a limited time for those people that upgraded to the VIP package and paid the small fee there. They get lifetime access to it, and there's a whole load of other bonuses on there, and I'll get to the bonuses on there in just a moment, because they are just simply quite incredible. They've been added to on a daily basis. But leaving that to one side, the next person that we had, was someone who you probably heard of, a guy called Simon Zucci. He's the founder of the Property Investment Network, which is arguably the largest community of property investors in the UK, up and down the country. And he's also the author of a book called Property Magic, if you've ever heard of that. And it's a best-selling book. So he sat down, and this is someone who's been through a a recession and all things that happened in the sort of 2008 and all that, come out the other side and gone on to leaps and bounds. And he set out he kind of identified the current state of the market, kind of put things into perspective and what's really going on and what does that mean. And then he went on to say, look, here are where things are headed. Here's where he thinks things are headed. Obviously, none of us got a crystal ball, right? But if you've been through adversity and stuff like that, it kind of helps prepare you for what's coming down the line. So he was able to use a lot of his knowledge, because he's been doing this for a number of years, over a decade, I believe. He was able to use that knowledge and kind of say, look, here's where things are coming at the minute. Where things are headed at the moment. And then what he went on to do, which is really good, is he actually went to point out the opportunities, highlight not just one or two or three, but a number of different opportunities that are available right now that are kind of slept on or sort of maybe well known but little understood. And it kind of changed people's perspectives a lot of what you could actually do right now. So rather than just sit and hoping and crossing our fingers that, you know, we don't have to stay at home anymore, they'll ring the dinner bell and we can all run out of our houses and all that kind of stuff. What can you actually be doing or preparing yourself to do right now that'll actually put you in a good position to actually move forward and do really well out of all of this? So that was something that he talked about. And as I said, again, just go to propertygedi.com and you'll be able to see the replay. It's all free. That's on there as well. And then next we had service accommodation expert Ahmed Khan. Now, Ahmed is famed for being able to run his entire service accommodation business from nothing more than his smartphone, which, you know, to me, I mean, I like a lot of technology and stuff, but to do your whole business through your smartphone is bonkers. And then he just kind of broke down exactly sort of what he's doing, and specifically with service accommodation, the apps that he's using, and the app that gets you sort of the 80-20 rule, the 20%. The bit of technology that you know, is 20% of your effort, but it'll get you 80% of the results. He kind of went through that as well. Absolutely fantastic, top guy, that Ahmed. And he also then went on to talk about the alternatives that you could do for service accommodation. So you don't have to just stay in service accommodation at the moment. There's other opportunities that are coming up, and he kind of highlighted that as well. And what I really liked about something that he did is he went to talk about where you can get long-term SA guests. So that is a major you know, pain or thought in people's sides at the moment. Service accommodation guests, you have them all here, and then they cancelled because of what was happening. Everyone decided to stay at home, and then what? So you're now left, especially if you're doing the rent to SA kind of model, you've got this guaranteed rent to a landlord, and then you've got no bookings at all, and you're wondering what's going on. You're trying to reach out, get all these NHS staff in there, and that's not really working. So what's the alternative? How can you actually get people to not just come and stay, but actually people that are prepared to stay like long term? I think you said his recent one was like 30 days or however many. It was a lot. It might have been 30 or 111. He had a couple of examples in there, basically, where he's getting people booking and they're staying for a significant length of time. So definitely worth checking out. If you do service accommodation, I implore you to go and check out that interview. Don't wait around. Do that today. As I said, the replay is only up for a limited amount of time. Then I've got to take everything down. And then the last kind of sort of bonus thing that was covered is people that are interested in maybe doing property developments. You might think that now's not necessarily a good time to buy, but there's different. That's if you don't know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing and using certain strategies that were talked about in this on the property summit, from not just this one speaker, but from all the speakers, you'll realize that there's a lot of opportunity available out there. So I would, again, highly implore you to go and check that out. Just head over to propertygedi.com, which you can see scrolling at the bottom right now. Registration is absolutely free. You get to see some of the replays, obviously for a limited amount of time, because I'm going to take it down and put it in the members area for those that upgraded to VIP. It's really not very much at all to upgrade if that's what you're interested in. If you're not, you just want some actionable, free information that you can actually, you know, do something with, will actually help you in your property journey and move you that one step closer to being successful, then head over to propertygedi.com. So that's it from me for now, and I'll look to see you in the next video. Bye for now.